What's up, people? I'm Xogue, and welcome back to Bare Roots. Wait. This isn't Bare Roots. This is my creative server. This is just something I've put together real quick to show you a change I've made to my texture pack. Now, the first thing I want to show you is that I changed my glass. Now, the reason I did this is because, well, the default glass just looks terrible. Absolutely terrible. All the streaks and everything. I manually edited all of the colored glass and took out the streaks. I did that. I did all of the colored glass myself. But this last thing here, if you watch Impulse SV, he's now part of Hermitcraft. I used his texture for the regular glass, and that's actually kind of what inspired me to change the colored glass. Now, I'm not sure about these little notches in the frame, but as of right this second, it does look kind of cool. It's kind of interesting. And when you look at it in here, you can see it. There's a little bit of a border, not much of one, but it is there. It is visible, and it's better than, you know, normally you're gonna have more than one, so you're gonna see the little two, and it'll kind of hint you towards that. Anyway, the other thing I changed was the font. Now, this is the Faithful 32X texture pack, but it's at 32 by 32 is what 32X is. But yeah, I mean, it's just awesome. I actually saw this a while ago, and I changed it on season 1 of Bare Roots as well, but I lost the font. I ended up reformatting my computer between the two seasons, and it just kind of, I lost it. So I went back and I found it. Now, the font is part of Tigley's texture pack. I'll have a link down in the description for her texture pack. She didn't come up with the font. She didn't make it or anything. She actually found it. She put it together from a different texture pack, but I don't know where she got it, and I don't know if she did either. But regardless, that's where I got it from, so credit where credit's due. That's the link that I'm going to put in the description. I'll also put Impulse SV. He actually has a video out on what he did for the texture pack. Apparently, he gets a lot of questions about it, so I'll put that link down in the description as well. And at the moment, I'm not going to provide a download for the colored glass because, well, not too many people are going to see it. So I have a feeling I won't get all that many requests. But if that changes at any point in time, I will put one out. But we'll have to play that one by ear. But anyway, I just wanted you to see the little changes I made, so when you realize that something looks a little bit different, you'll know why. Anyway, back to Bare Roots. Right, and now we are back on the Bare Roots server. And real quick, before we get started, I do want to mention something else that I didn't mention in that other little clip, is that I have been playing on GUI scale large. Usually I have it on normal, which is this big. And everything, I don't know, everything's a lot smaller. It's probably hard to see in the video, although I'm sure you can, you know, you see enough. It's not too big of a deal. But personally, I actually just increased it to large, and it's helped me see things. I originally set it to large so that you guys could see better, because although you might have been able to see just fine, seeing better is always better. So, yeah. But I did say something about us doing the nether paths in this episode. Well, that's not going to happen. The reason for that is, one, because the nether paths, they're dug out. They actually look okay. And until I get tired of them, it's not really going to matter too much. It really isn't. I mean, the nether is one of those places where it's like, I'll get to it eventually, and pretty much everybody's usually okay with that. So why would I work on the nether before I'm even close to being done with my base? I mean, I don't even have a storage area yet. But I am working on it, and that's kind of what I've been doing a little bit. I've been designing this out just a bit, and I don't know, I kind of like it, but then again, I feel like it can be better. I don't know. It's cool, though. It's alright. It'll do for now. Some other design might strike me. One of the ideas that you guys have, if you have any, go for it. Write it down in the comments. If I like it, I'll use it. Kind of down there, but you see my chests here. Basically, all of these little cubby hole things are going to be filled with the chests, and naturally, I have to alternate them between regular chests and trap chests, just so I can actually put them right beside each other. And it's kind of a thing like that. But what I want to do now is eat some steak. But after I eat some steak, I want to make a slime block launcher. Just a mini one, just enough to get me up top. That's all I'm really looking for at the moment. So the basic idea is that these actually, since this is where the slime block is going to be initially, we're going to have this guy here and the slime block here. And then we need to have the furnaces. The ferni? What's the proper pronunciation of that? I don't really know. But basically, these are the immovable objects. And normally, you know, you could go with note blocks or something similar, and I could probably make those, but in reality, this fits into the design really well. And yes, I know it's very, very gray. I need to bring in color and yada, yada, yada. I got it. I see it too. Don't worry. You're not alone. But what I want to do now is actually put the pressure plate right here. So I'm always going to be running at a diagonal when I'm going onto this thing. So then we're going to take this out right here. And in theory, I should be able... Actually, I'm going to take you out too. And what I'm going to do is actually... Let's see if this works. Should work. I don't see why it wouldn't work. Dirt. There. And then we're going to stick a repeater right here. 1 tick? You think 1 tick is enough? I'm not sure if 1 tick is going to be enough. I guess we'll find out. And then I get out. I don't know why I did both. Ooh, too far. There we go. That's better. Okay, and then just like that, and then we're going to put the... Where's my polish? There it is. And then the pressure plate. Yep, there's that. But is 1 tick enough? Nope, I need a little more. So you see, basically, it does work. You see that already, but let me actually explain. In case you're not familiar with redstone, this is one of the most simple, basic concepts. Even if you don't know redstone, you could probably follow what this does. But you step on the pressure plate, it sends the signal down onto, you know, this piece of redstone, goes into the repeater, and it waits a couple ticks, and then it goes right around the corner. It goes into this block, which powers that redstone, which then powers this, and it shoots you up. It's pretty, it's simple. I know. It's super simple. But just in case. I should have gotten... What? Hold up. Oh, was that a regular piece? Is that what that was? For some reason, it looked like a stone slab for a second when I did that. Alright, so let's see now. Nope. Yep. Whoa, okay. Ow. Alright, no problem. I walked and it's good. And then if I sprint... Oh yeah, totally. Ow, no problem. Wow. I actually take damage from that. That's not good. Ah, well. That's not good. I don't like taking damage. That's crappy. That's so crappy. Anyway, it's a thing. It's a slime block launcher. What do you want? It'll work. It'll get me out of here. That shit. That's horrible. That is so horrible. All right, I don't know. Maybe I'll make stairs down because I think 1 block lower will be fine. I think I'm barely going 3 blocks in the air right now. All right, let's actually test this. Let's see. 1. Technically, that's a half. So 1. We're gonna count that as 1, 2, 3, and I think that would make me take damage because it's more than 2. Oh, wrong. I'm glad that's still... Oh, I want you. Come here. And then you go here. I need this to be the funnest. There we go. So let's see. Yep. Just barely. Just barely. Anyway. So. Yeah. Slime block launchers. Anyway. So. Today, I figure we're going to be working on this a little bit. I'm just going to move all my stuff over, and we're going to be doing some of these bulk storage situations for things like cobblestone and dirt and maybe the andesite, diorite, and what's the last one? Granite? Yeah, I think so. Anyway, and then eventually, you know, we'll get some for the farms. Maybe I'll even hook one directly up to that farm and have... you know, all the chicken pumped directly into a bulk storage system, so I actually have like 8 double chests full of cooked chicken and I'll never run out again. I don't know. We'll see. I'll probably end up doing that more so for the cow farm, so then I have 8 double chests of steak and I won't have to worry about anything. I don't know. That's probably not going to happen. Just because you have to do the cows manually. Anyway, so we're going to figure out something, some way to do the bulk storage, and I think I'm going to use... Izumovoid's design he made, I don't know, he made it with a buddy. There's a tutorial for it. I'll put that in the description. Not going to be a big deal. Got a lot of links going in the description. Hopefully I remember all of them. But yeah, we're going to do that for at least 2 of them. I'll show you one, and then the rest, as I need them, I'll just build the rest off camera more than likely. But let me get some stuff together. I'm going to finish moving everything over. And yeah, we'll be good to go here in just so. Before we get started with this stuff, I want to tell you a couple of the things that I changed with the texture pack. The first one is redstone. You see the little corner, you know, when it's splitting off into a different direction and stuff, and this is just the straight line texture. I like this one a lot more. It's a lot easier to see, and the original redstone texture kind of annoys me a little bit. I don't like it all that much at all. So that's just one of the things that changed. The other thing is, yes, I'm using a pickaxe. It's on purpose because I want to show you the destroying texture. So that's what it looks like when I'm destroying blocks. That's just kind of how it is. I didn't, you know, this one was just personal preference, really. I just like how this looks. I think it's pretty cool. Now, I am going to try to mess with it and see if I can do a little bit better. But no guarantees, because that's already pretty good. Anyway, so let's see. I did actually change this. Now, I have one problem. I still take damage when I go down. But now, hey, slime block, don't do this to me. Thank you. I don't take damage on the way up. So if it really matters at any point in time, say I'm starving, I have half heart of health left or whatever, I can just like, and then I'm good. But other than that, I usually always going to have feather falling on, so it's not going to be a huge deal if I take damage. Whereas if the situation was reversed and I needed to go to the chicken farm and somehow I took damage, I'm half a heart in here, and then, you know, this was 1 block higher, there was no possible way for me to avoid the damage. And that bothered me a lot. So I basically just lowered the floor. And I added in a couple manual furnaces. We're going to have our furnace array, but this is just for, you know, quick smelt items when I really need food. For example, I can go in, get some raw stuff, throw it in these furnaces real quick, and be good to go. And then obviously the crafting table's got to have somewhere to craft, so that's not a big deal. Now, this big thing up here that I've been not really avoiding, I've just kind of let you see it because we were coming right to it. This is going to be the bulk storage system. This is the one that Izumovoid did a tutorial on. I followed the tutorial. It's very simple, very easy to understand. And we're just going to be using this one. And what it is, it has droppers down here. Now it uses droppers because chests cannot have a full block on top of them, which does, there's a certain design tweaks you have to work around if you're going to do that. So we do only get 8 spaces, but in general, like if I have cobblestone in here, there's a very, very rare occurrence where 9 stacks of cobblestone is not going to be enough. And in those situations, I can just kind of like, okay, give me the 9 cobblestone, and then I walk away for like a minute, come back and get the other 4 or 5 that I need. It'll be okay. It's not going to be a big deal. And then these are going to be the light indicators telling me how full this bulk storage system is. So now if we circle around back, I still need to come up with an outside design for this. But the front of it, I like the front. It's going to work. It's going to work out just fine. So basically what you have here is you have hoppers. On this side, it's pointed in here and going into that dropper. On this side, it's coming this way and going into that. So these are actually storage. This is storage for 2 separate items. So I can have cobblestone and then stone. And these are completely tileable. So I can put another one right here, no problem. Just even use this as that centerpiece, the separation. So I'll have glass, you know, this glass, and then the other 2. It'll be really cool. I think it'll work really, really well that way. And I can pretty much make as many as I need. And it's not going to be a big deal. And the reason, well, one of the reasons, we're going to do trap chests on this side. So now the items are going to flow out of this chest into the dropper. No big deal. So we can take our comparators, which I need to make more comparators, by the way. And then on the other side, we can go ahead and make our regular chests. And then another comparator. And then you see now we have double storage. Well, we have a full double chest plus 3 hoppers full with 15 more stacks in here, and then the 9 stacks of the dropper. So we have a little bit extra storage. But then we can keep going higher and go like this and like this. And then on this side, we can do, ooh, hey now. Don't do that. Don't be mean to me. Why are you being mean? I guess I could just point it this way. It's not going to be a big deal. And then here, and then here. And now we have 2 double chests. So then what we need to do is we need to have blocks. Let's just use stone. Stone's not too hard to get. Here and here. Then we have our two comparators here, and that way that'll update that second set of lights when these start to fill up. Then it's pretty much just a repeating pattern. I mean, it really is. So the next thing we have is one, ooh, here. I think this is where they go. I'm questioning my memory now because I did look at this design a little bit ago. And it's now just if I can actually get up there. Let's use a block I can get back, no problem, because stone is not one of those blocks. All right, and then let's see. Oh, that's right. This goes all the way across. Yeah, and then it goes back like, and this side was regular chests. This side was trap chests. And put the stone here, and we have a couple more comparators. No, we don't. Crap. But anyway, we're going to have another comparator here, and then it just starts over. Well, this has already started over, really. And we're going to put a hopper here and a hopper here. Those hoppers are pointed in the right direction, aren't they? Yes, they are. Okay, cool. And then pretty much the pattern just keeps on repeating. Now, Azumovoid does have a tutorial for this, and I will put that in the description if that wasn't enough for you to follow, because more than likely it wasn't. But I am just going to go ahead and build this up as high as it needs to go. And as soon as I'm done building it and dropping all of the cobblestone and probably dirt, maybe. I don't know what's going to go on the other one just yet. But as soon as I have those in the system, then I'll go ahead and bring it back. All right, so now you see these lights are on. Yeah, don't worry about that so much. Those are just the chests that I filled them all up in. That's where I'll put all of the cobblestone and dirt. Now, the reason I chose cobblestone is pretty obvious. When I go mining or whatnot, even though I may not have a whole lot of it now, I definitely will in the future. So that's kind of, you know, that's pretty easy to understand. Dirt is kind of the same scenario. Whenever I do any kind of landscaping or anything, I'm going to need either quick access to it, or I'm going to need to put a lot of it away. So I'll be digging out mountains. I'll need to put a bunch away, and I'll need a lot of storage. So I see that number fluctuating a lot. Right now, it's actually a little bit down. I don't even think I fill one double chest with it yet. But honestly, it doesn't matter too much. There's actually a lot of these I was considering putting in a chest. A couple of them you would expect. Netherrack. Yeah, I have a lot of netherrack, and that may very well go into one of these guys. The next one being sand, which I dug a lot of just to fill in the Guardian farm. That might go into one as well. But those are two things you're not really going to get a whole lot of until you start to do work in those areas. And sand, I'll slowly be using that over, you know, as time progresses. But I already have a lot of it. So that may end up going in there. I'm not entirely sure yet. But one thing is for certain. Well, before I go into that, I'll also might be making one for Prismarine, because mainly I probably won't be using hardly any of that, and it'll be few and far between for those projects. So I may have a huge quantity of it, and I may not get a whole lot of it in the future, but it will be staying in a large quantity for a lot because I won't be using it all that often. But I definitely have to organize all of my chests. They got to get organized, man. Everything is everywhere. Everything is everywhere. That is like the best worded phrase ever. It just is. Everything is everywhere. It's perfect. So what I need to do now is actually go get some chicken. But aside from that, I need to organize my chests, and I think we may end up what? Proper English is not something I'm capable of today. So pardon me, but we're going to end up moving the chicken farm in the next episode, I believe. We're going to bring that guy over here. And what's going to happen with that is, I believe I'm going to spew off of this little, that sounds so dirty. I'm going to extend this path from this corner out in this direction. And the rooms, I see it in my head, but it's kind of hard to explain what they're going to look like. But it looks really, really cool in my head. But doesn't everything? So I have no idea how it's going to turn out when you actually get down to it. But we're going to find out. We're going to see. Because we're just going to play with it until it does look good. But I believe the chicken farm is actually going to come up into here. And it's going to be one of the first rooms you're going to have off of this corner path on this side. But don't forget, I also have this corner path into that one as well. So this base can get pretty big. Now, I don't know what this one's going to go down into. And I think another idea I have. What I've done so far is I actually built down the dirt path, and I don't really like it. I wanted it to remain more natural, and I don't know if I can make it look natural now, but I am going to try. I'm going to try to landscape this, and instead of making the terrain fit the structure and make it look like it's giving support, I'm actually going to create supports for it. So I need to dig this, I need to dig it back out and make it look a lot more natural than it does right now, and then build some kind of support that looks like it can withstand the weight of this base. And that's going to be difficult to do because that means it needs to be pretty big, and you know, like strong, and big pillars are kind of hard to do. But maybe a lot of tiny ones? No, a lot of tiny ones doesn't. No, I don't know. I'll have to come up with something. But I know one tiny little thin one way over there in the corner is not going to cut it. That's not something that would actually be able to support the weight of this guy. Not by a long shot. So I'll have to come up with something that looks like it would be able to. And we might get into that a little bit in the next episode as well. But I know for one thing, that is way too far to run for chicken. So that's going to have to come over here. But all of that will be in the next episode. So if you liked the episode, please click that like button. If you want to see more, if you want my videos sent directly to you, then don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Also, don't forget to comment, favorite, and share if you feel inclined to do so. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time.